evening, race fans. Welcome to the Do It for Dale 150. This is round one of the original Rebel Racing League's late night series, coming to you live from Daytona International Speedway. It's going to be a spectacular race tonight. Drivers are going to do their best to maintain 3-4 wide the entire event. On behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, I'm James East, always bringing you the action 1080p, 60 frames a second. It's going to be a good one as we get ready for single car qualifying to kick off the night. We're watching Garrett, the number 13 Machine 4. He's going to be the first one out, trying to get pole. Over 30 drivers in the field tonight. So expecting a very, very good race. We did have a little bit of bets going on in the haulers with the other drivers. Is it going to be over, under 5 or 6 cautions tonight? Everybody's on equal setups. They've got 3 sets of tires at their disposal, 2 fast repairs, 100% fuel allotment. So just 1 or 2 cautions is all it's going to take for all these drivers to be on the same strategy here. So it's anybody's going to guess what's going to happen. And if they can make it all the way through the first few laps, keeping it clean, it's going to be a very, very good race, I think. As we all know, cautions breed cautions, though. So that could mean several things. If we have a caution early on, you might see people having a little bit of problem. We're going to see Garrett coming in. Not sure what the number 13 machine's doing, but it looks very, very cool. As always, I greatly appreciate everybody that tunes in from across the world, that drops a like and gives us a follow here on YouTube. Couldn't do it without you guys, and also helps out the league a bunch. Let your favorite drivers know, hey, we're out here cheering for you. Helps promote the league as well. And it gives these guys a little bit more sponsorship money, so that way they can show their drivers out all the time. Like, hey, I'm out here. I'm doing a great race. I'm putting it out there and qualifying. Right now we're watching Michael Smith in the number 9 machine. Garrett, the number 13 machine, he came into pit road. Not sure if he had a problem with his machine or might have had something else going on. So that's an odd mistake. Not a mistake, maybe a tactical decision is a better way to put it. But right now we got Kenneth Farmer on top of the provisional pole in the 59 Chevrolet. He dropped a 48.8 his last time by. He's going to try and squeeze off just a little bit more time on his second lap. Now on these super speedways like Daytona and Talladega, you'll see drivers holding the high line their first opening lap, getting all the way up to speed, using every inch of the racetrack they can. And on their final flying lap, you'll see them drop way, way low, all the way down to the double yellow. We got some friends giving us a shout out from across the world. Shout out to all the Reaper Racing crew that's out there tonight. So those guys getting a little bit of love from across the country. Great to see it. We're going to see what Farmer can do this time by. Farmer moves himself up into second with a 48.74, but right now it's Kai Shepard, I believe is how you say his name, the number 43 Chevrolet. He puts down a 48.72. I mean, look at the live time right now. That lets you know how close this field is in qualifying. We're looking at Charlie Gates Jr. in the 55 backed Ford Mustang. Gates puts down a 49.06 on his opening lap. Has a little bit of an internet problem there, though. Just kind of teleports across the racetrack, so hopefully he gets that dialed in before the race kicks off tonight. But look at this. Brett Redder in the 97 machine, he's on top of provisional pole with a 48.70. Brett is the host here tonight for the original Rebel Racing League late night series. The head guy in charge, so if any racers have problems or thinks he's cheating, you might see Redder getting torn down by his opponents. But man, look at Charlie Gates Jr. He's got very, very bad internet problems this early on. That is not what he wants to see. No, excuse me, Michael Smith with the internet problems. No, I got that right. That was Charlie Gates Jr. at first, the number 55. Now the problem with that is with iRacing, you can actually miss a timing and scoring loop if the simulation says, "Hey, that lap doesn't count." So you might be seeing that from Mr. Gates. David Sarwell Cornell, he comes into pit lane. He might have had problems his opening lap. He's going to take a tow back to pit lane before he goes out. That's the 63 machine backed Ford Mustang. Out of about 32 drivers, 15 have not qualified yet. Not sure if that's going to be a strategy. I don't think they're going to get a qualifying time. We are not. I believe qualifying's come to a finish here. We're going to get ready to rack them up, send them out there. 60 laps here at Daytona Speedway for the Do It for Dale 150. Sponsored by Arcadia Motorsports and Brett Grunwald coming in to help out the series here. So thank you, Brett Grunwald, for helping us out. We're going to see you on track later on, and we'll definitely be cheering for him. Brett is in a number 5 Chevrolet tonight, so he will be starting about 5th place, but let's run through the grid very quickly. Well, if we can get everything to act right here. There we go. Brett Redder starting on pole, Kai Shapart in 2nd, Dave Jones 3rd, Jeff Paisley 4th, Fry Hubert in 5th, Jason Lottridge 6th. You got Kenneth Farmer starting 7th, Jesse Nakula in 8th, Brett Grunwald 9th, Harold Barnes Jr. 10th, Peyton Johnson 11th, Jeff Hinkle 12th. Brandon Wallace will be starting 13th. William Griffith will be in 14th. James Jones 15th. Michael Smith starting 16th tonight. Charlie Gates Jr. 17th. Justin Wilkinson 18th. Rockefeller will be starting 19th, followed by Logan Sturgeon 20th. Got Garrett starting 21st. Didn't have the qualifying we wanted to see from him in the 13 machine, but still has a long night ahead of him to make up some spots. Alan Warnicki 22nd. Jerry LeGrand 23rd. David Sartwell Cornell 24th. You got Ryan Williams 25th, Josh Thompson 26th, Josh Oswald 27th. Gary Allen will be starting 28th tonight. Larry Ashby 29th. Kyle Roberts 30th. Hitman Monzo will be starting 31st. And then Gene Watkinson will round out our field. So 32 drivers taking the field tonight. Definitely going to be an exciting opening lap here at Daytona. Kai Shapart, I'm getting told, is the proper way to say that. So always appreciate the live updates on how to say some of these drivers. This is the opening round of their season tonight. So if you're looking at home going, hey, I want in on this, still plenty of time. And it gives me time as a broadcaster to kind of get to know these drivers a little bit better, get used to everybody, kind of learn the names, the faces, the car numbers. But I can guarantee you it's going to be a fun season here. We're going to get ready to rack them up, head out. I understand. I believe there's going to be 17 or 16 races in the season. We did a few recruitment races earlier on the last couple weeks. Same time slot. It was a lot of fun. But now it is for points. All these guys are out here competing for a championship. They're going to be holding it down and seeing what they can do. We got more shout-outs for Rockefeller and Thompson. Avengers Motorsport is who's getting rooted on from his hometown heroes. Pace car is in. Let's see what happens. Redder gets a great start. Shapart stuck on that high line in the 43 machine. Let's see, do they play it safe and stay too wide, or are we going to see some 4 wide action right off the get-go here? They make their way into 1, still 2 by 2 as far as the eye can see. Looks like for the most part, everybody pretty happy going double file. They're going to work out some stuff as the race goes on. Nobody wants to see it 3 wide this early on. Redder throws a little bit of a block, and I believe that's going to be Jeff Paisley making his way up the outside. Still 2 wide all the way down the back straight. Look at that. Shapart gets a good push. He's going to make his way up the front, but can he get clear of Jeff Paisley, the number 7? Paisley running the low line. Shapart on the high line doesn't get the love and support he wanted. But look at the big move from Jason Lottridge, dropping from the high line to the low line. He's going to give a push to Paisley up front. And just like that, the field already getting shaken up. We're on lap 2, so we made an entire lap. So that's pretty good for a new league on their first opening round Daytona. But look at this 3 wide action. That's Lottridge, Shapart, Redder all up in the mix here. They're going to bail out just a little bit. Shapart stuck in the middle, nowhere to go. Can't go high, can't drop low. And he's going to start working his way to the back unless he can get in a groove here quickly. And so this is your battle for first right now. You got Paisley out front, Lottridge second, Redder third. Behind them, an absolute hornet's nest. So it looks like the field's starting to get single file for just a little bit here. For everybody watching at home, again, I appreciate you guys so much tuning in every week, supporting your favorite racers, giving the likes and the follows on the channel. It always helps us out, helps the league out as well. So thank you guys as well. And as always, major thanks to the guys that correct me on drivers' names. I couldn't do it without you guys. Saves me a few angry tweets after a broadcast. So let's see, it's still Paisley out front, Lotteridge second, Redder third. Behind them, lots and lots of action. The back of the field still kind of getting sorted out here. There's Michael Smith in the number 9 machine. You can see him kind of on the bottom right of your screen. He's following Sartwell Cornell. Cornell's been a great runner in the recruitment races. Not getting a qualifying here tonight, but he is up 13 places. Behind Michael Smith, you've also got Charlie Gates Jr., Harold Bud Barnes. A lot of big, heavy hitters out here tonight. Again, if you're watching at home, you're thinking, this is kind of intimidating. Don't feel that way. Everybody at the original Rebel Racing Leagues, they do multiple races throughout the week, a bunch of different series within the league. Everyone's extremely friendly and extremely welcoming. So hop on in, get in on the action. Speaking of action, look at Redder. He's running the high line, kind of trying to toe behind Brett Paisley. Not able to get down low. A lot of times going to show him back and forth with Lotteridge there. Redder might have a little bit of a drive, but no, look at Lotteridge. He's coming down hard and heavy. We've clicked off lap 5. Redder's moved back to second, followed by Jason Lotteridge, Dave Jones, Fry Hubert, Jeff Hinkle, Kenneth Farmer, Kai Shepard, Jesse, let's see how I say that one properly, Necula, got it, nailed it. And then David Sartwell Cornell is going to be our top 10. But, man, look at that. A spectacular field here at Daytona. Happy to see the field's kind of calmed down. They've dropped in single file, and they're playing it smart. I'm not sure if you caught that on the left side of your screen. Less than 1.5 seconds separates current first place Jeff Paisley, the number 7 machine, to 32nd place Gene Watkinson. So the field's absolutely stacked here. So many great drivers out. I mean, I am always impressed with the caliber of drivers we get out here, but this is a very good showing for an opening round to make it this far into Daytona with such a stacked field. We've called other races at Daytona where it ends up being a crash fest, and these guys are really showing off why they are some of the best in the business. Just an absolute fleet of current gen Cup cars out here. You see all the 2 wide battles. I think that's going to be Bud Barnes leading the pack there. He's got Charlie Gates Jr. on his outside. They're going to go back and forth. Oh, hold it together, boys. Charlie Gates Jr. still having bad blinking issues. We saw that in qualifying as well. If he continues having problems, he may be asked or maybe forced to the end of the line with an EOL if he's not able to get his internet problems dialed. And that makes it very dangerous for everybody you're around. Nobody can really predict what you're going to do that much, and the biggest fear is you blink out and you come back inside of your buddy's machine. There he goes again. Absolutely spectacular racing going on here at Daytona. We're going to take you on board the number 83, Harold Bud Barnes. We may have a crash. We're showing Jerry Lagarde might be involved in an incident. I think he got back to the pits in time, so we're going to keep it green here on the racetrack. So you're on board right now with number 83, Harold Bud Barnes. Gives you an idea of just how intense this racing is. Everybody thinks, hey, it's NASCAR. We're going fast. We're turning left. I mean, even at Daytona, it's a relatively, quote-unquote, easy track to drive when you're all by yourself. Mix in 31 other machines, everybody trying to vie for a position, try and score some points in the championship run, and things can get very, very exciting. Look at Bud. He's having to check way, way up because he doesn't know where that 52 machine is going to come, or 55 machine of Charlie Gates Jr. is going to come back in, so Bud's going to have to get swallowed up here just a little bit. Oh, they're 3 wide down the back straight. Who is it going to be? Bud's kind of stuck by his lonesome there in the middle, but it looks like he's going to get a little bit of help from the number 1 machine. That's James Jones. And ahead of them, the field's kind of worked itself out a little bit more. They're cycling down single file, trying to get some laps clicked off here. All these competitors doing a fantastic job holding on to it. The side draft is very, very important here. If you can get as close as comfortable to your friend's rear quarter panel, you can take some of the air off of them, slow them down a little bit, and slingshot your way up. Just extremely impressed with the caliber of drivers we're watching here tonight. Jason Lottridge, he's moved his way up to third in the number 48 Chevrolet. Man, look how stacked that field is right now. The major battle, though, is going to be for 10th place right here. Michael Smith currently in 10th. He's in the number 9 Chevrolet. Behind him, he's got Justin Wilkinson and Brett Grunewald battling for position. Those guys are side by side down the back stretch. You're on board with Smith right now. You see him, or you hear him, excuse me, lifting just a little bit, playing it safe, and doesn't want to get too close into this. Doesn't want to have to check up too bad. But man, they are jockeying for position back here in 10th. They're going 2 wide, 3 wide. That's Justin Wilkinson in the 19. He's going to be on the right side of your screen, that beautiful red and black Toyota. One of the few Toyotas out here tonight. We had somebody commented about how the dirty air really moves your car around with the latest iRacing update. You couldn't be more correct. If you're watching along at home, you're like, why doesn't he just bump draft them? These Cup cars put off such a big air bubble, it's almost impossible to break through by yourself. You either need a good, strong bump from behind for somebody who's already linked up to your bumper, or you need that car just in front of you to slow down just a little bit, allow that bubble to break, and you go lock in bumpers and bump drafting around. For the most part, it looks like drivers playing it pretty safe, not willing to try and bump draft or not feeling the need to right now. Later on the run, you may see a high line develop, and those guys might work a little bit more closely and a little bit more aggressively, pushing their buddies up to the front. You're on board with Redder right now. He's following the Arcadia Motorsports sponsor number 7 Chevrolet. That's Jeff Paisley in front of him. Matching paint jobs currently 1 and 2. Lottridge, the lone man out in the 48, following those very shiny Arcadia Motorsports cars. As we get ready to click off the 12th lap of the race, and we're just going to be 13 this time by. Now it's starting to go too wide about that 8th place. That's Kai Shepard. He's in the number 43. Justin Wilkinson right behind him. They're going back and forth. Not sure where lap time can show them, and they're going too wide very, very deep here. You may see that outside line starting to form up. That's going to be Justin Wilkinson leading the charge. Now look at Peyton Johnson. He's falling very, very close to the 19. That's what we need to do to break that bubble, keep the momentum up, and start pushing your buddies towards the front. Yellow flag is out, though. We've got Brandon Wallace off track, Josh Thompson off track, Larry Ashby involved in an incident, William Griffith involved, Alan Warnecki, I believe is how you say that. Let's see if we can get a replay on that one. So watch Larry Ashby in the 34. Oh, a hard hit in the outside wall. At the back of the field, just absolute carnage. We're going to watch that again from the number 19's point of view. See if we can find the number 19 machine here. Man, what a spectacular crash. So we made it pretty far into the night. Not a bad run for an opening round of Daytona. We'll bring out the first caution of the night on lap 14. We're going to get ready to re-rack them. So this is going to shake things up just a little bit. So now you've got Jeff Paisley out front with his teammate Brett Redder showing in second. I believe both of those teammates are going to communicate. They are going to come into pit lane. Take a splash of fuel and I think 4 new tires. That way they can do the rest of the race on 1 tank of gas. It is 100% fuel allotment here for the Late Night Racing Leagues, brought to you by the original Rebel Racing League. 100% fuel, 2 fast repairs, 3 sets of tires. I'm not sure if that's going to be 2 sets plus what's on the car, or if that's going to be 3 additional sets of what's on the car. But look at Wilkinson in and out very, very quick. Redder with a 10.5 second, Wilkinson with a 7.5 second pit stop. So those guys getting in and out very, very quickly. So we were asked for a rundown of everybody involved in that first caution. So live time and scoring shows Larry Ashby involved, William Griffith, Alan Warnecki, I believe Josh Thompson was involved as well. And I can do you possibly one better here. We're going to take a look. We still have most of the field on the lead lap. So these guys do have 2 fast repairs. If you're not an iRacer, that means they basically have 2 get-out-of-jail-free cards where you can get back to the pit lane, and then the iRacing simulator will automatically repair your vehicle to 100%. So even if you have a bad wreck early on, you still have an opportunity to get back out there and score some laps with a clean car. So Jerry LeGrand shows as one of the few cars a lap down. Josh Thompson still in the pits. Larry Ashby still in the pits. Not sure what might be happening there. So from my understanding, these guys did have a fast repair, so not quite sure they had those long pit times. Could have been very minor damage, and they're thinking, you know what, I need to save my fast repair for later on if I need to. So right now, everybody's on the lap except for Larry Ashby and Jerry Legrand. As we get ready to re-rack them once more, pace car is leading the charge as everybody's double file coming around. It's going to be David Sartwell Cornell up front, Harold Bud Barnes starting in second tonight. So those guys able to get out front, decided, hey, I don't need to come in quite yet. While most of the other field stayed out, your top 8 currently did not. So they're going to go out and see if they can hammer out some laps, maybe get some laps led. Sartwell Cornell, though, he's been doing a very spectacular performance in all of our recruitment races that were held leading up to the season. We know he has the pace, but how is the pit strategy going to play out in his favor? Are these guys thinking, you know what, there's probably going to be another caution. We've stacked the field all up. And now you've got about 8 guys out front on older lap tires. Luckily, Daytona is a track that's relatively easy on tires. So if they stay in the draft, they're going to not lose too much time on their older tires. But here we go. Pace car is in. Harold Bud Barnes gets a great start in the number 83 Chevrolet. On his outside, David Sartwell Cornell. He's number 63 Ford. And they're already shuffling for position behind him. I'd call that a successful restart at Daytona. We make it by into turn 2, coming down the backstretch. You see everybody jockeying for position, trying to give a little bit of bump to their friend in front of them and say, hey, let's get this party started. You can see Garrett in the number 13 Ford. He's trying to get right on the back bumper of Harold Bud Barnes. Barnes is going to give a bump to Cornell. Cornell dropped down low. He's got a good run, but oh, look at Garrett raises to the high line. Thought he had a run and something to do with it, but did not quite have the momentum he wanted. There's contact. Oh, that could have been much, much worse. A big, big save. Look at how hard they are pushing up front. Barnes is pushing Cornell very aggressively, trying to get a little bit of space between him and Ryan Williams in the number 8 machine. Williams is up 22 positions tonight from where he originally started. So from 25th to 3rd right now, he's having a great, great run. Kyle Roberts, he's going to come into pit lane. That might have been who we saw sliding around, getting bumped and dropping down the apron. Well done to him for saving that. That was spectacular. It looks to me like the field's going to drop single file for the most part. Let's take a little bit look further back in the field. We've got old Hitman, the 44 machine. He's up 20 spots, but it looks like that outside line may leave him here. And that's the 48 of Jason Lottridge and Fry Hubert getting a good run. I mean, from 1st to 15th, spectacular racing. So what you're going to expect to see now is these cars are a little bit further back from the leader. Right now, Mando's on screen. He's about 3.6 seconds back from the leader. You see these guys try to work together, get single file, and start pushing their way back up front to try and reel in Bud Barnes, Cornell, and Williams, our top 3. Cornell, he's up 23 spots from where I originally started. So all of these guys doing a good job deciding, hey, let's stay out. Let's try and click off some good, fast laps and maybe put some space behind us. We talked to Brett Redder before the broadcast. And he goes, yeah, with this fuel alignment, we should be able to make almost the whole race on fuel. If we have a couple more cautions, they should definitely be able to make it on 1 tank of gas. But if you get into a green-white checkered scenario, you start kind of worrying just a little bit going, all right, am I going to make it or not? So a lot of the field taking that early pit stop decides, hey, this is well worth it. Take a look at Justin Wilkinson, the 19, the Toyota running up pretty good. He's in 8th place right now, up 10 spots. Put down the best lap of the race that last time by, a 45.79. So working that draft, this shows just how much more speed you can carry when you're working with a pack like that. Great 2x2 action. Very, very impressed. I can't say that enough about these drivers tonight. Everybody having a good run out here. Everybody's keeping it pretty clean, pretty calm, despite being too wide for the majority of the racetrack. Oh, right as we pan to him, Wilkinson into the wall hard. Oh, that's going to be the number 7 machine. Jeff Paisley also involved. And then number 13. Oh, and it just goes bad from worse. Oh, what a spectacular crash. That took out a bunch of people. Let's see if we can get a replay on that one. That's going to be spectacular. All right, let's get a nice big camera angle for you because this is going to be spectacular. Oh, my goodness. So we're going to back up just a little bit here. Ooh, that's where it happens. So the 19 gets into the back of the number 8, hits the wall. I think he's going to drop, maybe, no, the number 7 comes up. 19 gets hooked again, and this is where it gets spicy. So we're going to pan back into the field a little bit. That's Jason Lottridge in the 48 we're watching right now. He's going to come around. And then it's about to get very, very exciting. Look at the smoke from his front mirror trying to figure out where he's going to go. Really nowhere to go. And then we're going to take a look on our Arcadian Motorsports sponsored chopper cam. Jason Lottridge goes flying through the air. The crash still going on behind him, as Lottridge takes definitely the crash of the night. That has got to be one of the most impressive crashes I've seen on iRacing. And then the hits just keep coming in the back of the field. I've lost count of how many individuals were involved in that incident, but it was a spectacular crash. So with that being shaken up, we've got to have Redditor out front, Ryan Williams in second, Logan Sturgeon third, Josh Oswell fourth. Dave Jones will be your top 5 for this next restart as we bring out the second caution of the night. So these drivers do have 2 fast repairs at their disposal. If they can make it back to the pits, they can probably keep themselves on the lead lap. If they cannot get it back to the pits, they will have to take that iRacing tow assist. And that can cost you several minutes and put you a lap down. Time and scoring currently shows 28 cars still on the lead lap. You've got Gene Watkinson, Kyle Roberts, Larry Ashby, Jerry Legrand all showing lap down right now. That's the joys of Daytona, though, ladies and gentlemen. If there's going to be a crash, it's usually going to be a big one. And like we just saw, a lot of good drivers getting collected. So we're going to re-rack them. It'll be lap 26 on the restart. About 34 more laps to go for these competitors. So what you can see right now is a lot of the fast guys are going to try and stay out front as long as they can. Most of the crashes have been happening midfield or back. So the better your track position on the restart, the better the odds of your survivability here at Daytona. A lot of these drivers have not pitted yet. They're going to stay out there. Ryan Williams, he's still on original set of tires. Logan Sturgeon, Josh Oswald, they're still on the original set of tires. Redditor came in on lap 14 to get a set. Or, excuse me, he might have taken 2 tires in fuel. So he thinks he should be good to go the rest of the race on this tank of gas, make it all the way in. He wants to stay out front and avoid any of the carnage that might be happening behind him. Excuse me, not might be happening, has been happening. Pace car will be in this time by Redditor's going to try and keep it out front. Ryan Williams, the number 8 machine, he's up 23 spots. Logan Sturgeon, the 26, up 17 spots. Josh Oswald, the number 17 machine, also up 23 spots. So a lot of these guys trying to bet on a little bit of track position here to get their get out front, stay out front, and keep some clean, shiny race cars. Green flag is out. Redditor gets a great start on the bottom line. Looks like Williams didn't get the launch that he wanted here. Not sure if he's going to be able to get clear to the inside. I don't think he is. Logan Sturgeon's going to move up to second, give a little bit of a shove to current race leader Redditor. And he said, hey, let's get this inside line moving. Let's put down some laps here and avoid the carnage as they go bumper to bumper through 1 and 2. A little bit spaced out, coming out the back straight here. High line not quite developing like they thought it would. So you're going to see guys maybe shuffle around the first couple laps and realize, hey, if we're not dropping this line, we're getting left in the dust. As you see Redditor and Sturgeon getting a good run. Sturgeon in the 26 machine, Redditor in the 97 out front. But look at Josh Oswald still holding tight, number 17 Chevrolet. He's in 3rd place. Looks like Oswald got a little bit loose out of the corner and started to drift up the racetrack. Had to drop back in line, so Dave Jones, the number 10 machine, could squeeze the nose of his Ford Mustang in there. For the most part, the field's pretty happy to keep it single file. I believe that's, let's see who that is. That's the number 15, Peyton Johnson. He's on the high line. He's followed by Harold Bud Barnes, as well as Jason Rockefeller. Rockefeller always with that very cool Spider-Man paint theme. I'm a big fan. They don't get any bonus points for great paint schemes, but they do get extra TV time. So drivers, if you're out there listening, that's a surefire way to get some TV time. Is throw on a really cool paint job or do something spectacular, and we'll try and get you even if it's in a replay. Still single file out front. Johnson still running that high line, trying to get it working with Harold Bud Barnes and Jason Rockefeller. That three-car train kind of hung out there to dry on the high line. You see how close Barnes is getting to Peyton Johnson, though. That's the best way to push your buddy up front. A little bit of a shove forward, a little bit too much there. As you see Peyton get a little bit loose, and that's going to slow down that train just a little bit. So that high line's got to get something working, a side draft or something to get back up there to the front, because right now they're having a rough go of it. Still the same running order out front. Brett Redder first, Logan Sturgeon second, Josh Oswald third. For the most part, it looks like the top 10 still running single file here. It's about that 11th, 12th spot. You see too wide, as now Peyton Johnson is going to drop down in line and get back in tow and try and figure something else out here. It'll be the halfway mark this time by as a thank you to one of the series sponsors tonight, we're going to give you a lap on board with Brett Grunewald. So Brett's helping out a bunch this season with some of the races, and we can't thank him enough. So we're going to take you for one lap on board with the number 5 machine. So that's what a lap on board looks like around Daytona International Speedway. Pack racing at its finest. Again, thank you, Brett, for your contribution and helping out this season. We couldn't do it without you guys. And thank you for doing a good job keeping it clean out there. Brett currently running about 12th place, going back and forth for 11th. Having a pretty okay run, not where he wanted to be. He's down 2 spots from where he initially started. But from a broadcaster's point of view, so far so good. Still a nice tight pack for the top 3. Redditor remains out front, Sturgeon second, Oswald in third. They're all running that low line, single file. No one willing to make any risky moves right now. They know Sturgeon and Oswald in second, third know, hey, if we can keep Redditor out front, he's going to burn a little bit more fuel than us, and we're going to save some, which is very important because Sturgeon and Oswald have not pitted yet. You can see him try and reel into the back bumper of Redditor, and going into turns 1 and turns 3, you actually hear him lift a little bit to avoid running over Redditor. That draft's very powerful going into the corner. Look at this, David Starwell Cornell, he's up 17 spots, currently running 7th place right now. And the number 63 Ford Mustang. Somebody we talked about a bunch in the recruitment races, but not quite having the race tonight. Now granted, there's still lots of laps left, over 27 laps to go. It'll be 26 at the line. So So you may see Sarwell Cornell moving his way up to the front, but for right now, he's going to be happy sitting single file here at 7th place, up 17 spots. This may be one of those races until about lap 50 or so. You may see things calm down for the next 15 or so laps. Everybody falls single file. Relax those hands on the wheels just a little bit. And then once with about 10 to go, you're going to see people lighting a fire underneath them, making a little bit more gutsy passes, pushing people forward, pushing people, hopefully not sideways, but it happens when a bump draft goes south. A good example, look at Peyton Johnson. Try to get that high side line working, but as soon as you do that, you lose 2, 3, 4 spots. There's no one quite willing to get that high side line working just yet. You're going to see Peyton Johnson drop down the inside. He may see that high side line forming up. He's got Rockefeller and Bud Barnes in front of him. Those guys have been happy trying to run the high line earlier on, just couldn't make it happen. Josh Oswald in Full Send Racing. He's the number 17, currently the 3rd car you see in that lead pack. Man, if that shot doesn't let you appreciate how fast these drivers are making their way around the racetrack. Trap speeds in excess of 200 miles an hour for some of these drivers. Currently clicking off about mid-46 second lap times. A 46.48 by Redder. His best in the race so far was a 46.16. So even on older sets of tires, still hauling the mail as we go 25 to go at Daytona for the Do It For Dale 150. This is the opening round, so all these drivers trying to put in a good showing, get some much needed points for the championship run. Starting to see a little bit of 2x2 action here going on, but again, most guys still happy following single file. Jesse Necula, he's going to come in and pit on lap 36. Maybe realizing, you know what, I do need fuel if I'm going to finish this thing all the way to the end. Now, Jesse was in the lead lap. He may still come out on the lead lap, but it's going to be tight. Oh, that's a lot of good pack racing going on here. Jeff Paisley, number 8 machine. He's currently running 8th place, number 7 machine. He was one of our top 2 for a while. It was teammate Redder and him out front pushing hard. Not sure if he didn't quite hit his pit cycle like he wanted to, or if he came in for 4 tires. It looks like he's about 5 seconds slower in the pit lane than teammate Redditor. So I believe Redditor only took 2 tires and enough fuel to make it to the end here. While you might have seen Paisley take 4 tires, judging by that pit time he was in his box. All right, as we say that, Paisley starts to do something cool. He goes to the outside, trying to get that outside line working. He's got Jason Rockefeller in tow in the 09 machine. Rockefeller goes back to the low line, though, saying, hey, maybe not quite yet. We don't have the run. Paisley working that side draft. He's got David Sorwell Cornell right in front of him. No, he's going to drop back down in line. Wait for a little bit more support. It's going to be 22 laps to go. So still plenty of time to work on who you're going to work with. Who are we going to use to push each other up to the front as we get ready for this final run. Still 26 drivers on the lead lap. So out of a field of 32 drivers, 6 people not quite having the night they wanted. It's Kyle Roberts, Larry Ashby, Gene Watkinson, Charlie Gates Jr., Jesse Necula, and then Jerry Legrand. They're all laps down. Legrand has parked it for the night, not having what he wanted. As we see more pit cycles going on here. That's going to be Logan Sturgeon, Brett Redder, Joshua Oswald all coming in. So that was your race leader, Redder. having to come in with 21 laps to go. Dave Jones is going to take over the race lead. He's got Kenneth Farmer behind him in the number 59 and Fry Hubert in the number 14. That number 10 out front, Dave Jones, not sure if that's the paint scheme or if that's dirt on the left side of his car. May have had an off-track excursion later or earlier on in the race. So Dave Jones, Kenneth Farmer, they both pitted lap 14. About the same time we saw previous race leader Redditor come in as well. So that may mean these guys are doing fuel calculations going, hey, we might not make it to the end. Let's go ahead and pit now. Or maybe there's a different strategy at play. Redditor left the pits. Ryan Williams left the pits. Josh Oswald left pit lane. Logan Sturgeon, he's coming out. So Dave Jones going to have some lap traffic here in front of him. Yellow flag is out just like that. Peyton Johnson off track. Michael Smith off track. Harold Bud Barnes, he's involved in the incident. We'll get you a replay going on just in a moment. This is Harold Bud Barnes, the number 83 machine. Just gets tapped by the number 15, it looks like. That's Peyton Johnson. Oh, sends Bud around and around. Upside down, the field scatters behind. So hate to see that for Mr. Harold Bud Barnes. He was running spectacular tonight, frequently in the top 5. Was doing great draft work, working with folks getting back up there out front. And that's going to really shake things up. So now Redditor, Oswald, Griffith still on the lead lap. They came in on lap 39 with fresh tires, so 2 laps ago. Now let's see if Dave Jones, Kenneth Farmer, the current race leaders, if they have to come in, if they're going to stay out. So this is where things get very, very spicy. That's a good word for it. You're going to have guys on different sets of tires. A lot of guys were the last pit stop. The current race leaders, Dave Jones, Kenneth Farmer, their last pit stop was on lap 14. Behind them, you got Fryer, Hubert, David Servo, Cornell, Jeff Paisley, Jason Rockefeller, Brett Grunewalt. I mean, a whole slew of the top 15 drivers all pitted on lap 23. And then once you get all the way back to 22nd place, Brett Redder, Josh Oswald, those guys pit on lap 39, so we'll have better tires. But look at that. Here comes Dave Jones down pit lane. So Dave Jones, Kenneth Farmer, Jason Rockefeller all coming in. A lot of folks coming in. And then Fry Hubert, he's going to get a lap led here at Daytona. We talked about him earlier on as well. Look at David Sirwell Cornell. He's up to 3rd place. Josh Thompson, he's going to get a wave around, I do believe, in the number 3 machine. With 18 to go, this could get very, very exciting for those watching along at home. Most of the field here pitted on lap 23. Redder and Oswald moved up to 11th and 12th as about 5 to 7 drivers came into pit that cycle. But how much pace does the pole setter Redder have to be able to get up front with only 18 to go? There's still a very good chance more cautions will develop. This is our 3rd caution of the night, so a fairly clean race as far as a season opener at Daytona goes. Fry doing a great job getting out front. Always good to see it. Fry's motto, if you ain't first, you're last. So Fry doing living by the mantra here. And you hear the fuel saving going on right now as he kicks that machine into neutral. Fry, an A-class oval driver, about a 2,000 I rating. He has 1,164 official iRacing open or starts. His win percentage, a 5.76% in the open lobbies. He has led 2,936 laps throughout his iRacing career, so very, very respectable driver. As we see, he's currently going to be up front for the restart. It's going to be 25 drivers on the lead lap here once we get ready to make our fourth restart of the night. And it will be 16 to go at the line. Oh, this is going to get exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Hold your breath, cross your fingers and toes that this restart doesn't end in tragedy. All these guys want to get through this thing clean as quick as they possibly can. Score some points. Right now, Fry's looking in a great spot. Sartwell Cornell, he's in a very good spot. He's up 22 spots. Pace car is in. All eyes on Fry, Hubert, Sartwell, Cornell. Cornell's going to be on the inside, outside. Hubert is on the inside. Oh, we see a little bit of excitedness going on in the back of the field here as the yellow flag comes out again. Dave Jones involved, Jason Rockefeller, James Jones, Logan Sturgeon, Charlie Gates all involved in the incident. Lots of cars. That was a very, very bad restart. We'll get you the replay right now. So look at Dave Jones. He's the number 10. You see the field all over the place as people get squirrely, and then yeah, that was Dave Jones came up into the racetrack, and then things went really, really bad. All these cars had nowhere to go. You saw the number 1, James Jones, just step on the brakes to get through it, then change his mind and says, hey, I'll drive through you. We'll figure this out. A very, very rough crash. Took out a lot of good cars that did have a chance at the front row. So Fry, Hubert, Sartwell, Cornell, pretty much your top 10 got through that relatively unscathed. But man, not the best start as far as restarts go. So pace car may be a lap ahead of the guys right now. It'll be our fourth caution. This is getting more and more exciting. You're going to see bigger chances of a bloodbath of a sprint race for the end of the race here. Pace cars going into ones. You're going to see Fry, Hubert, Sartwell, Cornell check up here. Rockefeller, he's already in and out. He got his fast repair as quickly as he could so he can get back out there. Jason Lottridge, Alan Warnecki, Wilkinson, Griffith, Jones, Smith, all coming into pit lane. Dave Jones, Larry Ashby, Charlie Gates Jr. A lot of drivers coming in using hopefully their first fast repair, because if it's this late in the race and you've already used 2 fast repairs, your odds are getting worse and worse to finish in the top 5, because I think we're going to have at least one more caution going into the final closing laps of this race. Try show something. There we go. We got Fry Hubert's beautiful photo up. Chatsworth, Georgia. So good to see Hubert running out front. Cornell, he's in second. Cornell did not fill out his driver profile. Jeff Paisley, Modesto, California. He's going to be in third on the restart. Series sponsor, Brett Grunwald, he's going to be in fourth place, and then Jeff Hinkle will be in fifth place. So a lot of things getting shaken up this late in the race. It should be about 12 to go on the restart. But cautions breed cautions, especially when you stack this field up. Everybody's on varying sets of tires. Have a driver pulled over. He's waiting for the field to go by so he can get back in his proper spot. Still about 25 drivers on the lead lap. Pace car will be in this time by Fry. Got a good start. So did Cornell that last restart, but it was about mid-pack. You see a little bit of tire spin, forced cars to go off track, and then aggressively re-enter the track, causing that big incident. Oh, here we go. It's going to be 12 to go. A final sprint race for our competitors. If not, it might be several more sprint races if they have problems with the restarts. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Possibly the final restart of the night. It's going to be 12 to go once they cross the line. Things keep getting shaken up here. The Do It for Dale 150, sponsored by Arcadia Motorsports. Pace car is in. Here we go. Look at Fry Hubert. He's on the inside line. Sartwell Cornell, he's on the high line. Still having the field stacked up mid-pack, though. Things are not what they wanted as they're going 3-4 wide, going into one at 55 miles an hour. We'll take it back up front, though. It's Fry Hubert still out front. Sartwell Cornell stuck on the high line. He's got a little bit of support behind him, but not quite what he needs to get a run on that inside line. That inside line's got way more cars, but look at that. The outside line's starting to form up. Are we going to see some good 2x2 action with 11 to go once we cross the line? Or is that inside line going to stay dominant here? It's Fry Hubert out front. Sartwell Cornell in second. Jeff Paisley going back and forth with Shepard in third and fourth. Oh, we got some good racing going on here. Sartwell Cornell, he gets the drive. He may clear the inside line. He's going to make it work one way or the other. He drops down low in front of Hubert. So now you got Sartwell Cornell first, Fry Hubert second, Shepard third, Jeff Paisley fourth. Garrett will be in fifth place, excuse me, the number 13 machine. That outside line working together, not quite as close and tight as the inside is. You see Sartwell Cornell throws a bit of a block on the outside line there, tries to slow him down, but not sure to how much avail that's going to be. Kai Shepard, he's riding the outside line. He's getting a lot of support right now. But man, Sartwell Cornell, Fry Hubert, they're the 1 and 2. They're both on the inside line together, doing a very good job. You see the bump and the shuffle and trying to get things going, trying to move their fronts just a little bit further forward. But oh, I think that outside line's starting to form up proper. They were linked bumper to bumper. That's the 43, Kai Shepard, followed by Garrett, the number 13 machine. Those guys know how to push proper. Oh, they're all over each other right now, trying to get that outside line working. Number 97, Brett Redder, he's in the mix on the high. Oh, no! Here we go. Yellow flag is out, and calamity ensues. Jason Rockenfeld involved, Kenneth Farmer, Brett Redder. That's not what we want to see. So Redder is the 97 machine. He's involved. Gary Allen's involved. Jeff Hinkle, Garrett, Brett. So it looked like Garrett just kind of got hooked there and sent everybody for a ride. Just carnage. going to do that one more time with a different camera angle, because as much as we hate to see our friends crashing, if they are going to crash, we want to get it on the super slow-mo here. So you're on board with Jason Lottridge in the 48 machine with a bird's eye view of what's going on in front of him. Garrett just looked like he kind of got hooked there, and next thing you know, these guys behind him have no idea what's going on. They're going 190 miles an hour to 200 miles an hour. Not a lot of time to predict what's going to happen. So Lottridge tries to woe it up. Next thing you know, bam! He's involved pretty hard. He gets another love tap from behind. It's going to send him forward, but they are still crashing out here. Lots and lots of racers involved in that one. You know who's happy to be not involved? Sartwell, Cornell, Fry, Hubert. They're going to stay out front for this restart. Jeff Paisley third. Kai Shepard fourth. Harold Bud Barnes has made his way back up to fifth. Look at Hitman Manzo. He's up to sixth place, up 25 spots from where he started tonight. I don't believe the old Hitman put down a qualifying time. He's involved in some of those earlier incidents, so the fact that he's made his way all the way up to sixth, extremely impressive. We do have a correction. Rockefeller did make it through clean on that one. So the number 9 machine came in relatively unscathed in that beautiful Spider-Man paint scheme. That was William Griffith, who we were thinking about, in the number 12 that was involved in that incident. It's always fun looking at the live timing and scoring after an incident, because it is going absolutely crazy with the drivers involved between off tracks and collisions. It almost looks like a stock trader's board with just the red numbers flowing all over the place. It's hard to keep track of the carnage at times. So it's a series of small sprint races as the caution's out for the 5th time tonight. Had a couple good green flag runs, and the next thing you know, everything's turned upside down. Cornell is going to have the preferred starting line here. He is on the inside line. In the last 2 restarts, he's been on the high side and wasn't quite able to drop down to that inside line as quickly as he wanted to. So he may be in a better spot here to try and bring it home. It's going to be 6 to go on the restart. This is very, very spicy is the professional term for it at the Do It for Dale 150. A lot of these drivers thankful to have 2 fast repairs, but a lot of drivers going through them already. So once you're out of 2 fast repairs, you have to sit there and think about how you got there. And it's a long time to think, ladies and gentlemen. So Cornell, he started on the inside line this time by Fry in the number 14 machine. He's on the high side. Fry's been starting on the low line for the last 2, if not 3 restarts. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do. Is he going to get that high line formed up proper and start working and maybe push his way up to the front? Or is he going to drop down low as quickly as he can? Jeff Paisley, look at that, the number 7 machine. He's back up to 3rd after involved in an early incident. They're going to stack him up. Pace car is in this time by. Is anybody's guess what's about to happen, as it'll be 6 to go. Going to wait for the pace car to get over the yellow line. Green flag is in. There goes Sartwell Cornell with a big, big launch. Jeff Paisley gets loose with a tire spin. He dips down below the double yellow for just a moment. Six laps to go. It's going to be a sprint race around Daytona. Fry's running that high line, doing a very good job sticking with it. Not sure if they're going to have the momentum or the draft partners, though, to get that line working by themselves. It's only a 2-car pack right now. They're really going to have to work that side draft, try to make something happen. There goes Rockefeller, the number 9. He's going to try and get up there and work with that high line, make something happen. The 43 of Shepard, he's all over the rear of Fry, trying to give him a bump towards the front. That high line starting to get working. A lot of good racers we're used to seeing out front is in that high line right now. Oh, look at that. Hubert's going to drop down low. He's going to get in front of Cornell. So Hubert using all of the race lines, trying to slow down one line to the other. Drops down low, slows down the inside a little bit, then he kind of hints at going high. They're shuffling for position. Hubert shows out front. Cornell currently second, Shepard third. Rockefeller going back between fourth and fifth as these draft partners are all working together, trying to push their friends up to the front. It's going to be 4 laps to go as we cross the line. Hubert's getting a lot of pushing from Sartwell Cornell right now. Let's see if that high line has something for them. They're going to get a run right here, but is it going to be enough? It's only about a 3-car pack really working together. Man, but look at Hubert and Cornell. They are bumper to bumper as they get ready to go down the straightaway here at Daytona. They go into 1, they go into 2. A little bit of separation that time by, but you're going to see Cornell reel in Hubert on this backstretch. Highline kind of getting enveloped here and really not getting the momentum they need. Oh, but look at that. Here comes Jeff Paisley. He hints at going to the high line. Doesn't quite have the pace, but look how linked up Hubert and Cornell are right now. It's great onboard. The rear tail camera of Sartwell Cornell shows you what's going on behind them. Everybody bobbing and weaving for position here, trying to get as close as they possibly can, but not a lot of laps to go. 3 laps to go. Is Sartwell Cornell going to be content for second and keeping Hubert in front of them, trying to make room between that pack behind them? Or are we going to see an outside line form up and try and get a final victory hoorah charge here? Right now, it's still a single file game. It'll be 2 to go as we cross the line. Hubert's out front. Sartwell Cornell second. Jeff Paley's made his way all the way back to third. Harold Bud Barnes in fourth and Josh Oswald fifth. Oh, this is exciting. Not quite sure what's going to happen here. Still single file. No one quite willing to commit to that high line. We saw Josh Oswald kind of hint at going high, but quickly drop down low. Everybody wants to be up front, but nobody wants to be the first guy to drop out of line and try to make something happen. It's just too easy to get swallowed up by competitors that are happy following single file. But if we're going to see some shenanigans going on, it's going to be this next time by. As it'll be a white flag once Fry Hubert crosses the line. See a little bit of too wide action there on the high side, but just not a lot of support trying to get that line working. White flag is out. Oh, there's carnage behind them. They're wrecking. We're going to stay green, though. That was Ryan Williams was involved in that one. I believe Garrett was involved. Logan Sturgeon involved. So it's going to be checkered this time by. Fry Hubert's got a pretty comfortable lead. Sartwell Cornell throws a pretty nasty block on Jeff Paisley. They're going to make their way by, but I don't think Cornell has the drive. Can he get a push from Fry? Oh, is he going to edge him out the line here? What's going to happen? Oh, no, Fry gets bumped. Cornell's going to win it. Fry Hubert second, Jeff Paisley third. What a shakeup there. Man, that was an absolutely spectacular race. This is going to be for the checkered flag right here. The pass for the lead. So that's Sartwell Cornell on the left side of your screen. He's going to get a little bit of a bump from Jeff Paisley. We're going to speed this up a little bit for you guys. Here we go. Here's the patch for the race. So Jeff Paisley just barely bumped Fry, trying to make something happen there, and that was going to allow Sartwell Cornell to get by at the line just by a hair and bring home the win here at Daytona. So Sartwell Cornell is going to burn it down on the start-finish line straight, a well-deserved victory burnout. We're going to get our top 3 podium contenders up to the waiting room for their post-race interviews. But man, what a night here at the season opener of the original Rebels Racing League Late Night Series, brought to you by Arcadia Motorsports and Brett Grunwald. Thank you guys for so much for helping us put this on. But let's get third place tonight, Jeff Paisley, the number 7 machine. Jeff, do you read me?
Gotcha.
Jeff, what a roller coaster of an event tonight, my friend.
Yeah, it definitely was. A lot of ups and downs and back and forth. It was great.
Yeah, I mean you were up front for the longest time. You and teammate Brett Redder were running 1 and 2 for the longest time. I think you might have been involved in maybe a little bit of a pit strategy error. What happened that put you so far back early on in that race?
It really wasn't an error. I knew that we were going to all need to pit again, and I thought from that point we could actually make it. So then I ended up pitting, and then I think I got in the accident, wasn't it? And then I had to get my car fixed, and it was a little bit later, so I knew at that point for sure I had enough gas.
Well, I mean, good driving all the way around. I know that's a bit of a rough time. You get a new series that just kicked off. We had a few recruitment races, so some guys had the bugs worked out, but did that go cleaner than you thought it would be, worse than you thought it'd be? What were your thoughts?
Well, with some of the preseason stuff, I think it was much better than what it had been during some of the practice races that we were doing. It was a great time. Everybody seemed to be having a good time and racing hard. There was a few accidents, but I mean, I've seen it much worse.
Well, Jeff, always a pleasure, man. Good to see you up here on the podium, scoring some much-needed points as we get ready to kick off this championship run. Before I let you go, anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Oh, definitely. Of course, our team, Arcadian Motorsports, we are just forming for this new season here and in other original Rebels Racing. So me, Brett Redderer, you've got Ken Ken Farmer, and then you've also got Brett Grunewald. So all 4 of us are Team Arcadia, and I want to just give a shout out to all of them. Raise Energy is one of our sponsors that we have, and of course, thank you for putting on such a great program.
Well, always, Jeff. It's always a pleasure. Great being around so many like-minded racers, and always a pleasure. We hope to see you back up on the podium next week, sir.
Gonna try, that's for sure.
So that was third place, Jeff Paisley, bringing it home with number 7 machine. We're going to try and get Fry up to the Racer Lounge. Fry, this is James in the broadcast booth. Do you read me?
Yeah, go ahead, James.
Fry, you brought it home in second today. That was a roller coaster. You're up 4 spots from where you originally started, but making that number 14 Ford Mustang look pretty good tonight.
It was a really good race. I enjoyed it, man. Unfortunate I didn't get the win there at the end, but it's Daytona.
Happens to the best of us. It was a definitely a little bit of a meat blender out there for a while. How did you find yourself avoiding some of those big wrecks that we saw tonight?
Just staying out front, keeping my car clean. I noticed it was behind me. All of them happened behind me, and lucky through one of them there. So they wrecked right beside of me, and I was able to escape out of that one.
Well, some days it's better to be lucky than good. Fry, I mean, you're second in points right now. How are you feeling going into the rest of the championship here?
Take one race at a time, see how it goes.
Spoken like a true professional. Well, Fry, before we let you go, anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Thank Brett for making this lead here. Got to thank the guys over at Original Rebels for Matt Geist and all those. Got to thank Jason Warren. He's helped me out, made me a little bit faster. help get me back into this lead and this great lead.
Well, great seeing you Friday, and we hope to see you up front more often, my friend.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, up next we got the man of the hour, David Starwell Cornell, bringing it home in first. I like the name change, David.
Name change.
Your Discord now says David Startwell Cornell instead of Sartwell.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that. I just noticed that myself.
I think
don't
that may
know.
be somebody messing with you, maybe in a good way for getting great starts, but it looked like that final start really paid off for you. You had the inside line after being stuck on the high side for a couple times. That got to put you in a better position on that restart.
Honestly, I wanted the outside. I was on the outside twice, and I nailed it every time. And then, who was that? Fry Hubbard did the exact same thing.
Now,
The
David,
outside was where I wanted to be on the restarts for sure.
well, then we got that one in the wrong broadcast booth. We were betting anything you'd be on the inside. Now, it showed your last pit was on lap 23. Were you fairly confident you'd make it all the way in on fuel and tires at that point?
At that point, yeah, I was fairly confident, and I kept saving fuel under cautions. Yeah, I think I finished. Let me see. I still got eight laps left.
Oh, and that was with a 30-second burnout, too, so that's not too bad.
Right.
Now, David, you did really good in the recruitment races. You're currently leading the points. How are you feeling going into the rest of the season for the late night series by your original Rebels Racing?
Dude, this is such a huge momentum setter. Like, if I can just carry this through the rest of the season, I think this is going to be a great season.
Well, good, man. Always great seeing you up front. Before we let you go, who's watching out there that you want to give a shout-out to?
I don't really have anybody watching that I know of, but I do want to give a shout out to Team Goon Squad for broadcasting this, and the guys over at Original Rebels. Dude, this league is the best league I've ever been in. These guys take no crap, but they're great guys to race with. You know, respect everywhere. I also got to thank some of my real life sponsors, Rab Toy Gadget Racing, the Parts Store Inc., and Fairfax Salvage.
Well, awesome. Well done again tonight, David, and we hope to see you up front and continue that streak that we come to expect from you at this point.
You might be setting your expectations a little bit high. I'm not that good.
Fake it till you make it, David. We'll see you next week,
All
my
right.
friend.
Alrighty, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to bring us home for the opening round of the original Rebel Racing League Late Night Series. Season opener tonight here at Daytona. A little bit more cautions than the guys really wanted to have, but overall fantastic racing across the board. Still plenty of races left, so if you want to get into it, you have time. For the Do It for Dale 150, always thank you to Arcadia Motorsports and Brett Grunewald for bringing the show out here. We couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you, Brett Redder, for putting this thing together. On behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, I'm James East. I appreciate everybody across the world that tunes in and watches these things. We'll see you next week.